What was the major breaking point for you where you said, you know what, this is too extreme for me? Do you mind discussing
that? A major breaking point for me was definitely a laundry incident. You know, my intimates, my undergarments were being examined and questioned. And like my ovulation schedule, and like I know what this looks like coming from a woman and what it should look like. And I was being compared to previous women he had been with. And that for me really just ended it for me. I just couldn't. I had to separate myself. And from then I started disassociating myself.
Yeah, I would too. So since situations have come about, since you survived so much in that relationship, and then you found the strength to finally say, you know what, this ain't at my house, we need to move on. I know there were times, like any relationship, where you're breaking up with someone, you feel in even in the breaking up, no matter how hard of times you guys went through, you still feel that desire to love on them a little bit, to reach out. I know you reached out and stopped reaching out. How did you stop reaching out? At what point did you say, you know what, I love you, but not enough to keep continuing the conversation? How did you find that strength to acknowledge that I can't keep calling you anymore? You know you can't.
So that's a good question. So initially, you know, reaching out, I was just doing like, hey, I hope you're doing amazing. Like, just little things here and there. And of course, you get the whole I miss you and like all of that stuff. And it starts a whole, you know, other sector of conversation going. But
because you miss them back.
There's always that one thing that happened that just reminds you of why you made the decision to leave in the first place.
Right.
And I had to start acknowledging those and taking heed to those. So I started that like gradually. The minute that moment happened, okay, that's the boundary. Conversation done. And I had to not say conversation done because that leads into another conversation.
Right.
I had to just cut it. And once I started to do that, I then blocked, you know, like everything, his number and everything. And on my phone, I know if you block somebody's number, I can text you, but you can't text me back. Right. I won't get it.
Right.
So if you're used to getting that constant rejection, even though it's you that did that, like I can send you a, hey, I thought about you today, or I heard the song today, but by me not getting anything back, in hindsight, it's better than getting back what I would have gotten back, right? Because it would have just led to the ongoing cycle of like craziness. But I had to do it that way. And then after a while, I had to sit and really acknowledge like, these are the reasons why I left. These are the things that have hindered me from growth in some kind of way or whatever. And then it just helped me eliminate the need to even want to reach out and see if you're okay. I'll keep you in my prayers. That's it. I'll love you from a distance. It's cool.
Distance and prayers. That's what it takes. Have you encountered a moment yet where you have seen your abuser in person? Or if you haven't, and if that should happen, have you prepared yourself for that moment to keep walking or to not engage in conversation? Or have you found yourself thinking that, okay, I could talk to you, but it'll end here? Like, have you any of those thoughts crossed your mind? Have you experienced that yet?
So number one, I just want to say legally, I can't talk to him.
Okay.
And we're legally not supposed to be in the same space. And that doesn't matter where I go, right? But even if that wasn't the case, I realized that who he is now in full-fledged is not who gravitated me to them. So I look at you as a new person. And now that I'm getting back to me and regaining, you know, these things about myself that I know I've always held that I dimmed down because of us, or maybe I've tried to eliminate because of us or whatever, and I've gained new parts of myself, you don't know me either. So we're still strangers.
So that
in a way.
Walking past.
Yeah, so I have the ability to sit, I can sit in a meeting and speak with this person and I still don't know you. And you don't know me. We just know who our representatives, you know, showed each other. Like my mom always said, people show you their representative first before they show you anything else. So we don't know each other. I can walk past you with no problem. It's okay.
I like that. You don't know this movie, never will you will. I love it.
Nope.
So let's talk about all the accomplishments that you have acquired since surviving, walking away from that relationship. I know at one point you said you have lost some things in your career. What are the things you have gained back? Let's say the good news.
So I'm not gonna go into detail too much because I don't want to jinx it and all of that good stuff.
Yes.
But opportunities that started off small, even though I knew like the ball was gonna roll and get bigger, are now coming back to me big, and that's it. This is the platform. It's this big, and instead of starting off this big. Like I'm getting amazing opportunities I've never even envisioned for myself, things that I thought about as a child, and I'm like, oh, forget it. If it didn't happen by now, considering my experiences already, it's not gonna happen. Right. I've gotten great opportunities to move to a place that I really have always in my heart knew I was gonna move to. I've gotten into an amazing program, and I'm praying for this next acceptance to get into an amazing institution that I've dreamed my entire life getting into, like literally within 24 hours of our breakup. Regardless of how much I did reach out or not or whatever, amazing dance opportunities. I'm a human service / psychology major in school. I've gotten great opportunities to pioneer programs. So I've started my own program. We gotta look out for that. Yes. And just really, I can't even fathom really and put into words the abundance. That's the word. That's my 2021 word.
Abundance.
The abundance of things that have come my way in bigger numbers than they came. Some of them may have come to me before or just coming to me at all. My dance career, my passion, the thing that has saved me from a lot
You could dance, honey. I used to watch her videos. Her hair flips are just signature.
Thank you. It's expanding, and now I get more room to be a choreographer now.
Yes.
Now I'm getting in a position to touch more people. Like I said, starting my own program, my own, creative and mental health program of myself to be able to reach more people in more places. So I'm getting more travel opportunities cross country.
It's flowing, it's rolling. Speaking of abundance, have you allowed yourself, because I always say you can have amazing things in your career and be dead on the inside. Have you allowed yourself to feel that abundance in your heart? Like, I forgive myself for whatever I need to forgive myself for, not dealing with that person, because sometimes we put self-blame on ourselves. Have you forgave yourself? Have you allowed yourself to feel the abundance and the love that you could receive back into yourself? That way you can have your career and have happiness at the same exact time inside.
So I think I'm still going through that process, but I think that I've been fortunate enough to have started that process while I was still in my last relationship. So once I started disassociating myself from certain things, I kind of, not purposely, but I just found myself being in solitude by myself. I started that process of forgiving myself, figuring out why I made certain decisions or why I did make certain decisions, and really doing the work independently. Sometime later now I'm in therapy, so that helps. Yes. And I'm still doing the work, now with, a therapist. But I started this, I think I touched on it prior to my last relationship, but being in my last relationship really, and now with COVID, really made me sit down and figure out these things, these kinks, and how to balance that out in a healthy manner. Yes. Now. So I think I'm in a pretty good place, now I'm single, so I know how to maneuver and keep that going without letting it affect me outside of my work, but also affect my work and how I can be effective in my work.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good from where I'm at.
If you or any one of you all are experiencing, have gone through, are witnessing, know someone who is going through a domestic abusive relationship, for my queer individuals, you can reach out to the hotline 212-714-1141. And then for all of my people who are not queer, you can also go to 1-800-621 hope. I want to thank you again for being open with me, for sharing your story to the world. You are very strong. You are very brave. And I just want to make a clear statement that it doesn't matter if you're a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, if you are other, if you are non-gender. Abuse is abuse, and it comes in all forms, period. Whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, it is abuse, and you need to seek help. And for those who are the abuser, at some point you need to sit down with yourself and say, I need to get help for myself, not for the other person, but do it for you. And there are those same hotline numbers you could reach out to, and someone will be able to help you get the help and the guidance that you need. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, Monet. Thank you, Clubhouse members. And I'll see you all on season 2. And that's that. We're done.